Since Twitter's about what's happening in the moment, I feel like we're still sort of in the moment of the presidential debate.
Sure are.
And we should talk about that because this live strategy, not only is it really strategic for you guys, which is very new. So what are you learning in terms of how it works and if it's doing well? How do you measure it?
Yeah, so last night's debate was tremendous for us on Twitter. It was the most tweeted debate ever. And also, in terms of the live stream, we had Bloomberg Politics video coming through in the live stream, and then all the tweets, all the conversation curated about what the candidates were saying up there. And it was probably, we're still pulling the numbers together, but probably the biggest live stream we have ever done. So I'm resisting the attempt or the opportunity to be braggadocious and say that it was bigly for us, for those that saw it. But it was a good night for us. And when you think about the product overall, the product goal is pretty simple. We want you to come for the live video and stay for the conversation. And there is tremendous conversation happening on the platform, whether you see it during the debates last night or during any of the NFL games, for example, that we're doing.
How do you sort of compare the audience for the debates to the one for the NFL? You said you had 2.4
Correct. So
viewers
we've done 2 weeks so far of Thursday Night Football. We have the Thursday Night Football package on Twitter. Our audience in the first week was 2.3 million or so, and the next week in week 2 for the NFL was 2.4 million. So we're seeing growth. Yeah, exactly.
Growth at Twitter.
And essentially the product is getting better, which is part of the reason why the audiences are coming there. But I think even better than that is the connected audience and the content that we're seeing from the connected audience. When I say that, I mean the audience isn't just connected to their phones or their devices, but they're connected to each other. And the opportunity that becomes apparent when we see people connected to each other with live video is pretty incredible. I'll give you, there were 3 moments last night during the debate that just totally sealed it for me. And judging from the braggadocious stuff, I'm sure people saw it as well. Just real quick, show of hands. How many people saw the live stream on Twitter last night? So how many people watched the debates? So you probably saw this.
Everyone.
You saw these 3 moments. If you were on Twitter and watching the live stream, you saw this come alive. So one was the moment that Trump uttered the words bigly and braggadocious. You saw a massive conversation from the connected audience. And then you saw accounts like Merriam-Webster who jumped in and corrected Trump live as he was talking and said, no, actually what you really mean is braggadocio, and then here is the link to the actual definition of the word. The second moment that I thought was incredible was when Clinton brought up the fact that Trump has said in the past that global warming is a fraud that was perpetrated by China as a way to induce trade. And on the live stream, he said, that's completely wrong. I never said that. The moment he said that, the connected audience went back and found his tweet from 2012 that actually said that exact thing. So in real time, the connected audience on Twitter is not only fact-checking, but also the fact itself came from Twitter, which is pretty amazing. The third one, which is the key, was around all the sniffing. How many people saw or heard all the sniffing? Right, so he later, by the way, Trump later claimed, and is going through Twitter, that his mic was faulty. But you saw, you saw the connected audience really take advantage of this as well. So there's new accounts that have popped up, like @TrumpSniff, @TrumpSniffing. There's users who brought all the video together, so you can watch now a full, I think 45 seconds of just sniff after sniff after sniff. And that probably the most, maybe one of the most controversial statements that went out on Twitter the moment that happened is Howard Dean, who tweeted out around the sniffing that he questioned whether or not the sniffing was because of past drug use from Trump. So, this concept around the connected audience is amazing because it really takes advantage of, seeing the moment live and seeing all the conversation. It's kind of like being at, an audience like this or a sport. You were in a bar last night, I think, watching the debates, and just that community feeling that exists in real life that you see in digital.
The virtual bar.
That's right.
So one of the things that I hear a lot about Twitter. Twitter does a lot of stuff like this first. You guys were kind of the first to figure out native advertising. You figured out live before Facebook decided to bet on it. How do you continue to own this streaming with conversation?
Look, I think the live stream concept actually, truthfully, is just an extension of what we always have been doing. For the last 10 years, the company is about 10 years old, and it's always owned this concept around live. So live streaming, in my opinion, is just kind of updating that now to what's new, and actually bringing better content to bear. And it's not just the TV premium content that we're doing, but it's also some of the other opportunities that showcase itself. Like, I'll give you two really good examples of this. During our NFL live stream, where we're streaming the games and bringing it through all the conversation, we also have users who are going live on Periscope and giving you play-by-play or description about what they're seeing. One such user is Chris Carter, the former wide receiver for the Vikings and also TV commentator, who in pregame, at halftime, and in postgame, you should follow him on Twitter because he's going to do this every week, goes live on Periscope and actually gives you his analysis of the game. Even better than that is what Andy Roddick is doing during major tennis events. So during Wimbledon, when Wimbledon was going on live, he was on Periscope actually giving you play-by-play, point-by-point commentary on each one of the folks. He didn't want to make the flight to London. He had just had a new baby. Literally in the Periscope, the baby's crying, and he goes to the audience, hang on a sec, I got to change a diaper, and he like gets up and changes the diaper and comes back. So I think that that type of content, both the premium television quality content all the way through to the live interaction and engagement with audiences, sort of the opportunity that we see out there, and it's just an extension of what we've been doing for 10 years.